subscribe. And we are going to be looking at Kaupungin Alla. Now, I've just recently uploaded a update to Kaupungin Alla, which carries on a story arc, which will continue on in another future update down the line. But the first update it's a smaller update. The next one might be a little bit bigger, but I don't. It all depends how that goes. But what we're going to do first actually is that I'm just going to give you a quick tour inside Kaupungin Alla. I'm not going to go through all the ins and outs of it on the premise of, well, just on the premise of, because it's all like, you know, I'll let you lot discover that lot kind of thing on your own. But we'll give you a quick tour of Kaupungin Alla. Alright, so here we are inside Kaupungin Alla. As of at the moment, followers do not follow you inside. I do know how to fix that problem, but I am having a slight issue with the nav mesh outside of the entrance of Kaupungin Alla in the world map. Something is not going right on that, so I can get followers to follow you in, but the problem is they don't follow you back out. So I'm trying to fix that currently at the moment. But hopefully in the next update I should have that sorted. So if it is sorted out by the next update, then followers will at least be able to follow you inside here. They may not necessarily be able to be sent back here just yet, as this is actually meant to be a player home, but they'll be able to follow you inside at least. But right, so inside here you will see there are some statuesque kind of things. Obviously some of them it's Dwemer, because obviously this is meant to be, it is kind of sort of like a Dwemer city. You got some of these things here, which you got engravings. They just tell you like little stories. They don't go into too much detail, but there is a bunch of them. You got 4 engravings and a book, which do kind of tie in with the continuing story arc of the entire mod. But again, I'll let you lot read that in your own time. So if you come in and you go to your right, you will find Ragnarok here, who's just Ragnarok. He's a big black husky. In here you will find a tavern called the Hair of the Dog. And in here you got a couple of people. You got the tavern owner Alska, who's over here. I am also looking up in the ways of trying to sort out the face glitch, the face glitch problem, just like my speech, it's glitching up all over the place here. But no, I am trying to find a way to fix the face glitch problem. I have been trying a couple of things. Obviously it hasn't quite worked just yet. So you know, there's a bunch of stuff in here you can take. There are some unique sort of like kind of new things that are in here. For example, one new item in here you can find is something called High Rock Scotch, which you can drink. If we come further down here, on your left hand side you will find the smithery, which is run by Trillo, who is actually a merchant.
Yes.
So you can buy and sell things to her. We do have a new armor set called Emerald Armor. So we got Emerald Armor, Emerald Shield, Emerald Gauntlets, Emerald Boots, and some Emerald Ingots. Now, in ways of making all the emerald stuff, you can make the emerald ingots in any smelter, and the recipe is pretty simple. It's 1 malachite ore, 1 iron ore, and 1 corundum ore, if I can remember correctly. We will just check that to make sure, though I am pretty sure that is what you need to make it. Yep, 1 iron ore, 1 corundum ore, 1 malachite ore. And then once you make the emerald armor, you can improve it on any workbench. Doesn't matter which workbench it is. But to actually create the armor in the first place, now you can just grab that armor there. But let's say you want to create a second piece, you know, to give to a follower or something like that. If you want to create a second piece, you need to use the mineral forge. You can't make the emerald armor in any other forge apart from the mineral forge. So just remember that. The recipes for it I think are pretty simple, but we'll have a look. You will find it under the glass tab here, and you can see you got 2 emerald ingots, refined malachite, and 2 leather. Now to make all of them, it's exactly the same exactly the same recipe. So to make the boots, it's also 2 leather, refined malachite, 2 emerald ingot. You know, and they're all the same in the ways of the recipes to make them. You do not need the glassmithing skill perk. It's not required. So you can make it straight from the beginning. You can make it from level 1 quite easily. Opposite the smithery, we have the general merchant. Again, this guy's a merchant. You know, he does all the general goods. And in here, we have 3 unique items. We have Mystic Bark Armor, Mystic Leaf Armor, and Mystic Forest Armor. Now, they're free to take. You can take them. You don't have to worry about stain. It's not class of stain or anything like that. La 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 la. Now, I'm not going to put them on. I'm going to let you lot discover that, what they are. But I will say is the armor themselves, the model that it puts on the player, was something that the player was never actually meant to be able to wear. So there are some slight issues with it, which are things that I cannot fix. Unless someone knows how to fix it, let me know. But from the top of my head, I cannot think of a way to fix it at all. It doesn't break the game or anything like that, or it doesn't cause crashes or anything like that. It's just that with the left hand, for example, when you're a first person, your hands don't appear on the screen. Why that is, because again, it's because of the model and the texture that is used for the armor. There isn't actually an existing thing for that to play in the game, so there's no way to actually for me to implement that. And then when you're in third person, there is a slight texture glitch with the left hand. Why it's only specifically the left hand, I do not know, but it's something that I can't fix. But again, the mystic armors are just put in there just for a bit of fun, and just I wanted to experiment around a little bit with something. So they are a little bit rudimentary, but they are still usable. So if you come up the center hallway, on your left hand side you will have the Apothecary, which is run by Lucius here, and you got your basic ingredients on the shelves and potions and stuff on that shelves. I keep going to that view for some reason. On your right hand side you will see we have a ghost, the ghost of Newt. Now, as you remember, I said at the beginning of the video, there was a recent update that added a story arc in for Newt, or at least a continuation of her story arc.
Need something?
Yes, I need to find out more about your story arc, but we will do that later on. And here you got some stash. You can take them all. You don't have to worry about getting any of them. And the magic shop is run by Freya here, who again you can just basically use to buy spells, sell spells, and all that kind of jazz. Behind it you have a memento box. It's got a note in there. I'll let you lot read that in your time. And Odin's wedding band. Now you can take that if you want. I'm not going to, but you can if you want to. The main thing I want to grab in here are these 2 things here: Conjure Ragnarok and Dismiss Ragnarok. Now what these spell tomes do is that they actually allow you to... Now you might remember earlier on you saw that big black husky. Those spell tomes allow you to conjure up Ragnarok whenever you want, and you can also dismiss him whenever you'd like. So I'm just going to quickly show you that now. So we're going to go and learn these spells. Boom, boom. We're going to go here. You'll find them in the Conjuration tab. Now they don't cost you anything to cast, so it's not a problem whatsoever. No magicka is required. So we're going to conjure him, and there we are. There is one Ragnarok, and now we're just going to use the other spell, and we're going to dismiss him. Off he goes, and you can repeat that process as much as you like. What I will say about Ragnarok is that he is much more powerful than your normal husky, as well as that his attacks do have magical enchantments on it, so have fun. So if we come into the big end chamber here, the big ass end chamber. As you can see, we've got a nice chrome dragon water fountain. Now this is basically what is effectively is the player home. So as you can see over here, we got a couple of mannequins for your armors, some weapon racks well, for your weapons. On the other side, it's the same thing. A couple more mannequins and some more weapon racks. On your right hand side, we have a alchemy station, and behind this door here, you got a bunch of potions and storage for all your alchemical needs. Just near here, you got a bunch of shrines, but we do not have the Talos shrine. There's a couple more of these engravings here. So you got one of the werewolf, and there is also one here for a lurker. Now on the side over here, we have a staff enchanter, and staff components. So basically anything you want to put to the side that had to do with staff enchanting. And on the same side, we also have the arcane enchanter, which behind here you got more storage for enchanting components. So primarily soul gems, but you could probably put a couple of bits and bobs in there, as well as a whole bunch of grand soul gems, free for the taking. We got stairs here, and you got some, clothing storage. You got a nice dressing table with a nice shiny mirror. We have a trapdoor here, which requires a key. Now at the moment, still, even with the new update, the key to this trapdoor is still not in the game. So there is no point going to trying to find the trapdoor, because, well, the key for the trapdoor, because it's not in the game yet. That is for a future update. Well, another future update. And obviously you got the bed here. Tra-la-la. On here, we actually have some more high Scotch rock. A book about Kaupungin Alla, which again I'll let you read in your own time, and a book on One-Eyed Jack, which is this big ass beast here, which that book I'll let you lot read in your own time. And that's it for the player home. It's got your basic needs as far as a bit of extra decoration just for fun, I suppose you could say. But it's not a big ass open space. Now also just want to point out, within Freya's room as well, on the table here, we have case notes, which we will be going through, but we'll be going through that later on in the video. But you will find the case notes on the table on the right hand side of Freya's shop. Now you will see there are a bunch of guards around the place. So, you got 4 guards, just standing guard. Each guard is a nod to a YouTuber. And then if you come to the room on the left hand side, as you can see, it's basically, it's like the living quarters. And you got the bed, and you got their dressers. I know. There's nothing too crazy in this room. There's nothing too crazy in that room. It's more there for sort of kind of emergency, just basically pinpoint that these people do have a place to sleep. Though they do not do that actually at the moment. They don't actually go to bed. Primarily because I'm not well versed in the ways of AI packages. Because I was actually struggling a little bit with getting these guys to follow a particular AI package for some reason. Not 100% sure why. I mean, they do kind of follow it now. But the problem is that they don't seem to actually wander around largely around the place, so I need to kind of make a few edits to it, which will be coming again in a future update to the mod. So so basically the general gist for this mod is basically at the moment is that it's still not actually fully complete. It will be completed in the end, but it's not fully complete yet. It's about, I don't know, 30% done, I would say. Kind of like that number, 33.333 reoccurring % done. But right, so we got one more room to look in, called the Kaupungin Alla Vault. Right, so a couple of things about this room. One is that you will find a lot of treasure. You can take all the gold that's in there. There's a lot of gold in there. I think it's about I don't know, it's probably about 6,000 gold. Don't worry, they're not individual coins. You take one part, there you go. You take a part. Let's get some. Oh, I don't have any light on this one. Oh dear. No, so like in there, in there, there's a ton of gold. Again, I think it's about 6,000 odd gold. In here, you got loads of ingots. You got one of each. You got loads of it. All ingots, dwarven ingots, iron ingots, steel ingots, emerald ingots, all that lovely stuff. In here, you got a bunch of stuff from Solstheim, so netch leather, chitin plate, heartstones. In here is just a load of soul gems, grand soul gems, great soul gems, lesser soul gems, black soul gems. And in here is just a shite ton of ores. But that's not all for in this room. As you can see, we have a chest, another chest, another chest, another chest, chest, and chest. And around here, loads of chests. And here, loads of safes, load more safes, and a whole bunch of safes over here. And a shite ton of barrels here, and a shite ton of barrels over here. So in this room, this room is just a one big ass treasure room. Now, it does say in the description, but I'll repeat it here as well. Do not store any of your items in the vault, because the vault, as long as it's set up correctly, which it should be, the vault is designed to respawn its items. Now, how many in-game days that takes, I don't actually know. It might be like, it could be like 3 days, it could be 5 days. I'm not entirely sure what the condition for that is. But let's just say it's 3 in-game days, not real life days, but in-game days. So, you know, you'll empty this place out, you take all the gold, take all the ingots, blah blah blah, you've emptied everything. Everything's been emptied. You come back here again 3 in-game days later, the gold has returned, the ingots have returned, the safes have been restocked, and, you know, all the items have returned. So you can just take it again. So basically, you have an infinite amount of money, basically. But all along with that is that if you put anything in here, when it resets, if you put any of your stuff in here, it gets resetted with it. So therefore then you lose that item. So again, do not store anything in the vault. You got plenty of storage in Kaupungin Alla, the main part of the city, that is not designed to reset, so it's safe for you to put items and store items in Kaupungin Alla, but it is not safe for you to store items inside the vault, as the vault is designed to reset. But right, that is it for as a quick tour to Kaupungin Alla. There is a lot more, well, not a lot more, but you know, but there is a few other things to this place. You know, obviously, you had all those you have the engravings that you can read. You got there's actually a book, the Kaupungin Alla book, which is written by a guy called Odin. You have his book to read. Freya's book we will be reading a little bit later on in the video, or a short bit at least. And there's a few other little bits and bobs for you to discover. So, you know, have a look around, have a mess around. You know, see what things you find, see what things that you don't find. But right, we are now going to move on to the new update with the continuing story of Newt. So I will see you in the location of where I need to be. Alright, so just before we carry on, I think I forgot to kind of point out where actually Kaupungin Alla is actually located. So you will find Kaupungin Alla just northwest of the Western Watchtower. So it's, you know, it's in a pretty central location. You know, you have Whiterun to the east, and it's just northwest of the Western Watchtower. So there will be a marker on the map. It won't be, you can't fast travel to it straight away. You do actually have to discover it to be able to obviously to fast travel to it, but you know, you'll have the icon on your map right from the start. So now we are going to go to where we will find a bit, you know, carrying on the story of Newt. So to carry on the story of Newt, you will want to actually refer back to the case notes that you find in Freya's magic shop. So we're gonna look now. I am on a different file here, so that's why my level's a little bit different. And I'm playing on a slightly different file. So we go to top. We go to case notes. Boosh. Right. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, because this is bloody long. So I'm actually only going to basically read to you sort of like the last page kind of thing. Right, Freya. Hopefully Newt will be able to recover some more of her memories over time. Let me know where I need to go. Right. Newt's home can be found within the mountains up northwest near a place called Deep Folk Crossing. Once again, thank you for doing this. So, yeah, that's not the whole book. There is a lot more to the book that explains a bit more about the backstory, a little bit more about Newt herself. I've covered actually little bits and bobs and gives a bit of lore behind what Newt actually is and all that lovely stuff. Now, also, the book is written. It explains in the book how the book works, because the book works in a slightly different way. Not mechanically, it's just lore-wise, story-wise. But basically, you'll see that basically you have someone speaking to Freya and then Freya replying back. So basically, Freya writes into the book and it updates the case notes, your copy of the case notes, because she has her own copy. But then your player, for immersion and lore-wise and story-wise, also can write in their copy of the case notes, which then updates Freya's case notes. So basically, they can have a conversation by writing down in the book. So that's why the near the end, sort of like the ending, like the last few parts of the book, sort of like it seems like it's a conversation between two people. It's meant to be a conversation between you, the player, and Freya. But so we're outside this cave where we need to go. So I'll show you where it is on the map, just in case if you don't know where Deep Folk Crossing is. So you got Deep Folk Crossing here, which is near Bafarndans, which is in sort of like northwest of Skyrim. Which it's so basically, really, you want to go to Markarth, and then you kind of sort of like you want to go northeast. So you want to go northeast of Markarth, basically. So travel to Markarth, go northeast of Markarth, stay along the mountain line, and you'll finally come across a place called Hidden Cave. And this is where we need to go in. So we need to go inside the Hidden Cave. Now there's a reason why I actually also want it to be nighttime here as well. So let's go into Mushroom Grove. Mushroom? What's mushrooms got to do with this? Everything. Now normally in the daytime it won't look like this, because it will be like just sunshine. But if you come here in the night time, it does look much better, I would say, because you get all like this glowy stuff on the ceiling, which isn't actually a full ceiling. It does actually open up into the night sky. It's a bit hard to tell because it is dark, but you can see that you got the stars. But that's because I haven't actually implemented it in yet in a way of any kind of like story or anything like that. But as you might have saw, we got some whale bones. How did whale bones get in here? Well, obviously it came in here through the hole. But that still begs the question, how did the whale get in here? But as it turns out, there's actually, in actual Elder Scrolls lore, there were creatures called, basically, well, I can't remember what they were called, if they're actually called anything specific, but they were flying whales. So that's what that was. It was a flying whale. It just, fortunately, got itself trapped in here and unfortunately died in here. So yeah, to the Mushroom Grove, there's nothing too crazy. I mean, it's very bright and it's very blue, very mystical. But yeah, there's nothing too crazy in the Mushroom Grove itself. But you know, just wanted to give the impression of a mystical, magical place, and I think I've done that all right. I mean, it's probably some people, but it's not magical enough. Well, it's as magical as you're gonna get. But what you want to do, you want to come up here. You'll see there's a ramp coming up here. You come up over here, come down here, and you come to this cave over here. Just basically, it's just follow the blue bloody path. To put it quite simply. So we get to Taxara Courtyard.
Does someone live?
Alright. As you can see, enemies everywhere. You can see they're called Frightened Miling Soul. And they're bits bloody it. But I can hit them. So we're gonna take a while trying to kill these buggers. Right, that's that one. So we're just gonna clear out this area. Oh, there's something down there. But yeah, we're going to clear out this area, and then we're going to look at the book, the case notes book, to try and explain some of the stuff that's going on. And death. Right, I think that might be the last one in here. No, there's another one. Right. Now, we're going to look at the case notes, because that does explain a bit more about what's actually going on here. Because you're sort of like, Frightened Miling Soul, what's that all about? So we're going to go back to the case notes. Now again, I'm going to give you a synopsis of the book, basically. I'll give you a synopsis of what's going on. So basically, Newt herself is part of a rare race called Mylingars, or otherwise known as Mylings individually. As a group they are Mylingars, as the individual they are a Myling. So that's where the Myling comes from. Now the reason why they're frightened, well there will be a reason why they're frightened, but you'll find out shortly in a bit. And why it's a soul. Well obviously soul, it's probably because they're dead. That kind of makes sense. Nah, this book kind of covers a little bit of that in the ways of who Newt is, or what Newt is, and this and that and the other. But again, I'm going to let you lot read that. But we're going to start from here. I'm going to start from the point where your character actually starts having a conversation with Freya. Okay, Freya, I will help you with this. Thank you. Freya, I do need to ask, why is Newt ethereal? I thought the Mylingers were always in this state, but I was wrong. Newt has been able to recall some memories. She still can't remember her name, but she does know that where she was living was attacked. In the attack, everyone was murdered, including Newt. So Newt is a ghost then, Freya? She is. But she was told by someone that she had to escape. Though she did manage to escape, it was only her soul that managed to escape the massacre. Does she know who told her to escape, Freya? She doesn't. But she does know that she was told to seek out Kaupungin Alla. Okay, Freya, what do I need to do? Would you be able to go to Newt's home to see if there are any clues to the people who attacked Newt's home, or why Kaupungin Alla was brought up? I can, Freya, but will I be expecting to bump into anyone again whilst I'm in there? I will be lying if I said I knew. My best guess is that you may encounter the souls of Mylingars who didn't get out. Okay, Freya, if that's the case, then how can I deal with that? Well, I know for sure that it's going to be hard to find the names of everyone for you to then recite the burial passage to allow their souls to pass over. Even though Mylingars have a unique burial ritual, they are still people. So even though it pains my heart to suggest this, but you may have to destroy the soul, as it may be their only chance to pass over. Okay, Freya, but what about Newt? Does she want to pass over? Newt has said that she isn't ready yet. She wants to spend a little bit more time in this world. I know one day she will want to pass over, but knowing she wants to stay for a while does bring a smile to my face. And then we come back to the end part of the book, basically where it tells you where you need to go. So to learn basically what this burial ritual is, read the book. So now you can see why they're a frightened Myling soul. They're frightened because they were attacked. They're Myling because they're Mylings, and they're a soul because they're all dead. That kind of explains it. So this place is just full of souls. And very eerie and very quiet. So now we're going to go in here. In a place called Tuxara. Now obviously again, you're going to bump into some souls. Yeah, we're going to put everybody to rest. So we're going to put everybody to rest and we're going to have a look around. Right. So obviously we've got a bit of... Oh dear. We've got a corpse. Now you can take the stuff you want. I don't need to. I'm not going to. I have no need to. Oh hi. You're out of the way. But yeah, as you'll come to see, you know, there are a bunch of corpses lying around the place. You'll find some chests that you can loot. And so it's just it's just random leveled loot. We're gonna take that lot. Oh, we'll take that lot. Oh, why not? But yeah, it's just random leveled loot. Some of the bodies are lootable, some won't really have anything on them or nothing crazy on them or anything like that. There's a couple more here. Oh dear, even the children died. Everyone was massacred. Men, the women, the children. All dead. There's no one. We're going to take that stuff. Now just to show you how dark it is when you don't have a source of light. There you go. This is how dark it can get in here. If you do not have a source of light. You can see there's a source of light over there. That's because the chandelier stood up. But over here, it was brought down somewhere. There it is. See, it brought down, so it's no longer producing any light. Let's carry on. I see a soul. Hit a soul. Ah. Another body. Oh, hello. One there. One here. And there's another one over here. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to catch up with you, actually. Ah, there you go. Right. So in here you got some bookcases if you want to do any reading. I think there might be like a chest in here somewhere as well. But yeah, you'll find some random. Yeah, you'll find random chests. And then we're coming to the last room. Oh, hi. That's that one. That one. Yeah, this isn't. I will say, yeah, this mod isn't designed to. Well, this expansion to the thing isn't designed. It's not designed to be like incredibly tough sort of thing. The souls themselves, they kind of like level up with you. But I'm able to kill them quite quickly because the weapon I got is quite strong anyway. So, but either way, then this isn't like designed to be like a extremely difficult mod or at least expansion to the mod. So we're coming to the final room, the temple. There you got another chest over here and some random leveled loot. And there's a couple more over here as well. I think it's just behind here. Oh, okay, well, there's one more. So we come to the end. So far there hasn't actually been much here. There hasn't actually been much for you to find in the ways of Newt's story. The only thing found so far, yeah, you had an expansion to Newt's story in the ways of the case notes book. You come to where Newt actually came from. But when you get to the temple, if you come to the end here, you'll see there's a bunch of bloody bodies here. But first off, we're going to go to the bodies on the right. Because you may come to realise they're all named. Last you got Elster, Nailt, and Lochnerus. Now, you will come to learn if you look at the ghost version. If you look at the ghost Newt carefully enough, you will realise that Nailt and Newt are wearing the same dress. Technically, they are actually wearing the same dress. So you can put two and two together. That Nailt here, the little girl here, Nailt, is Newt. So you actually do get to learn her name, and her name was Nailt. Lochnerus and Elster here were Nailt or Newt's parents. Now, Lochnerus doesn't really have anything on him, I mean, apart from the clothing he's wearing. But on Elster here, yeah, she's just got some clothing, normal clothing, but also she has this Heaven's Strike. Now on my one it does 58 points of damage, but obviously for you it might do different. Obviously it'll do different amounts. Damage wise, I think the base damage for the Elven Sword is 11. This one's base damage is 16. The weight is 10, whereas on the original Elven Sword I think it's about 14, 16, something like that. So this one is a little bit lighter, a little bit stronger, swings a little bit faster than the Elven Sword, and has a slightly higher critical damage multiplier. So all in all, it is better than the Elven Sword. And you can see it is enchanted. 30 points of stun damage, absorbs 10 points of health from the target. Summon Daedra up to level 50 are sent back to Oblivion. So it's not a bad little sword. Yeah, it may not necessarily be the strongest sword in the game, but it's not a bad little sword, I think. And the good thing is that the enchantment doesn't run out, so it's permanently that enchantment. So remember to loot Alestra, but we're going to leave her with some dignity and allow her to actually keep her clothes. Now, another body you would like to search is this corpse here. Now you can take his armor if you want, and you can take the Orcish Greatsword if you like, but what I'm interested in is this, the mission brief. Now this kind of basically gives you the general idea of basically what happened. Oh, I mean, it's obviously what happened. The place was attacked, but you know, gives you a bit more. Goes, you know, explains it, but also this now links you in to what will be the next update to this mod, which isn't done yet, obviously, but it links you into that next update. I know this will be your first assignment with you in charge, Lochrin. You are a Phoenix Talon now, and I believe that you are up to the task. Here is the intel that we have. We have heard word of a group of Myling guards having spotted near Deepthroat Crossing, and as they are not of Kind's creation, they have no right to live here on Nirn. So your task is simple. Locate where this filth is holding up and massacre them all. All the men, women and children. Still, do not underestimate them though. They are powerful in the magical arts. If you complete your task, then upon your return you shall be greatly rewarded. The Shadow Hunter will be joining you on this task as an advisor. Listen to him well and use his experience to gain the advantage. Though the Shadow Hunter will be there, just remember that you are in charge. So basically, they were sent here by a group of people. Who was this group of people? Now, if you go back through the case note and find out a few other bits and bobs that you can read in Kaupungin Alla, you will hear of a group calling themselves the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire. Lochrin here is part of the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire. So basically, Taxara here was attacked by the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire. Who was Shadowhunter? Well, if you read the stuff in Kaupungin Alla, it'll make sense to who Shadowhunter is. So, the next update is going to be about the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire and their group, and just exactly what their group directly actually believes, what they do, and all that stuff. But that is still to be explained, which will be explained, but will be explained in the next update. But you might have a kind of like a rough idea if you read all the other lore that is within here. You might have, you might be able to get a rough idea of what the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire are kind of like, at least. But that is it for now. That is it for this mod for the time being. Again, there will be a future update a little bit down the line, exploring more about the Revenant of the Phoenix Fire, as well as might be adding a couple of other things actually also again into the city itself. But there, that's it. This is only a small update. It's not, you know, it was never designed to be a big update or anything like that. It was just designed to be like a small little update, just carrying on the story arc of Newt. So yeah, in the next update, or the Phoenix update, may as well call it. Yeah, in the Phoenix update, though it will mainly be exploring basically the Revenant at Phoenix Fire. Newt's story might continue on a little bit as well as like a secondary story arc. So yeah, remember to keep an eye out for that. If you decide to, you know, download this mod for yourself. If you want to download this mod for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to the mod. As of at the moment, this mod is only on PS4. I may decide to release it on Xbox and PC as well. Not 100% sure yet, but primarily I just wanted to add some more stuff to the PS4 because unfortunately due to PS4 restrictions set by Sony, because they suck, there is only a limited amount that mods for PS4 can do, so you know I mainly concentrate more on my mods to be for PS4, but I do release mods on the Xbox and PC as well. So yeah, once again, a link in the description will be found, linking to this mod. If you decide to watch this video by actually finding it on my channel or find it on YouTube, then you know there'll be a link in there linking you to the launch page. So if you're interested, you can download it for yourself and then add it into your game. So until next time, when I will be back, or at least next time in here in Kaupungin Alla. I may do another video before then, but the next time we will be exploring more to do with Kaupungin Alla itself and the mod itself will be when I release the Phoenix update. So until then, I'll see you all later.